Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi, we're back.
Back again, still in Idaho.
I'm on my feet this time. I'm going to be doing some swaying. We're still drinking our glasses of wine.
It's the same one, though.
It is the same one, yes.
I'm slowly.
This is our
picking
second glass of wine in about 4 hours. Because it's like there's so much chaos. It'd be nice to just sit and pound wine.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Not realistic.
No, but it's nice to have sips every now and then.
Yes.
It's really great. So Teresa's rocking the baby.
Yes.
I'm sure you can tell in her beautiful carrier. And I really hope that
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Bought this myself, an Ergo, a little fancy Ergo.
I actually really love the Ergo, too.
Yeah,
it's the most comfortable in my back.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the Baby Bjorn one because the clips are really easy. It's easy to get the baby in.
Yes.
I have both. Either or.
I love that. So right now we're going to come to you with some more vlog questions. And this one comes from Kate H. Kate says she has a question that's a hot topic at her preschool, constantly comes up. And so she's asking toys. Do too many toys spoil a child? There's a constant fight on toys with siblings. Do plastic toys take up space and frustrate kids? How many should they have? And so we're going to talk about toys.
I feel like you've done toys really well.
Me?
Yeah.
Huh,
I think that your kids don't have that many toys. They have a good selection of amazing toys, but it's not, you're not at hoarder level the way we are at our house. We are straight up toy hoarders.
That's so funny. I've always had this thing where my mom always told me that I was the kid that would sit at another table, not our table, when we go out to dinner. I'm from Kentucky, so we went to dinner at the Cracker Barrel for all of you Midwestern people. But I would sit at another table and I would play with the salt and pepper shakers. And those would be my toys. And I would sit for so long and I would have full-on conversations and create entire worlds with these things. So
I love that.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, I was totally fine with that. I had lots of toys. I mean, my mom and dad got lots of toys for us, but I know that my favorite things were sometimes just things that were randomly around. And knowing that and hearing that, I always kind of had this idea and philosophy that like, maybe we would just get really great toys that I thought were interesting or would sort of be something that my kids would be into, but I wasn't into the like flashy toys, the noise-making toys, the plastic toys. I do have some, I'm not anti-plastic toys, I have some of them, but I really love toys where you can really use your imagination. I do like Legos. We have both wood and plastic. My son builds everything and he's amazing at them and he loves them.
And if they get destroyed by my children, he likes to rebuild them because my children destroy Legos. And Wyatt puts them back together.
And my daughter will sit down with just a few little like mice, like little stuffed mice, or what are those things called that you got her? They're called like papoose or it's like these little wooden toys.
Really cute little wooden,
and they have like
characters
wool.
With felt. Yeah,
she's
like felt
obsessed with them.
Yeah,
and she calls them her babies. And she sits at her little like wooden toy house and she plays with them. So I love to pack those things up, a few little things in a backpack, and take them with us when we go anywhere.
That's amazing.
But we have a really small house, and so we don't have a ton of toys. But my kids love to play with what they have, and we purge the things that they don't play with, and we give them away to other children.
I was like you growing up, and I'd have an abundance of toys. So it's so funny. I grew up like not very wealthy with my mum, but she would go to the secondhand store and buy me whatever I wanted because I was like, I want that, and that, and that, and that. She was like, okay, darling. So I had so many toys at my mum's house, and then I'd go to my dad's house, which is funny because my dad actually had money. And I had no toys there, not one toy at my dad's house. I had like an old, like broken giraffe from my sister who was 10 years older than me, something that my dad found in the bottom of some dusty shelf. He was like, yeah, you can play with this. And then what I had was a bag full of pencils. So I had all different colored pencils, and they were my dolls, and I made pencil families. Like the red family would go to school together, and the shorter pencils were the children, and the longer pencils were the adults. And then it was like the green family and the blue family. And I would play pencils for 7 hours straight. And that was my thing. And my stepmom still reminds me about how all I had were pencils, and I made pencil families, and I had villages with the pencils, and then one day there'd be a big tornado went through the village, and I'd have to rescue all the pencils, and I just used my imagination. And my dad thought that it was completely adequate just to have pencils for toys. And there's something really beautiful about that, and it made me use my imagination. And I am the mother that it all started with Bodhi. So I feel like I haven't bought Forrest many toys because I have so many toys because of Bodhi. But I was so excited by his interest in toys and little things, and you know, the phases they go through, like, oh, they love Pokemon, or they love Lego, or they love like Shopkins or Hatchimals or whatever. So I would just kind of buy the things that he was interested in because I wanted to nurture his interests. And I think it's, you know, I was 27 when I had my first, and I was just so giddy about parenthood. I was like, I'm just going to buy him all these things. And now, of course, we have 2 playrooms in our house, and it's just chock-a-block filled with so many toys, and we have plastic ones and wooden ones and all sorts of ones, and everything's all just jumbled on top of each other, and we have too much stuff. And I do think that Bodhi has been spoiled in that way, and I am currently, as we speak, Marie Kondoing his toys because we have way too many, and the phases don't last. Like, they're interested in one thing for a few months, and then it's on to the next thing. And then we've had one long-lasting interest, which is the Puggles from the Lost Forest. So that's one thing that we've kept, and we're not getting rid of them. But yeah, I definitely think less is more. You can also hide some toys and rotate them in and out, which is kind of what they tell you to do with dogs, with like dog toys.
That's true.
And, you know, have a certain box that you hide in the cupboard, and then when the kids seem to be bored with the toys they're playing with, you bring out that box. There's also toy libraries, which I love that idea, where you borrow toys for a certain period of time, and then the kids play with them, they get sick of them, you return them to the library, and you get another bunch of toys. I love that idea.
But there's something to be said for having so many toys, and then your kids like still go around talking about being bored, or, you know, I've definitely seen, I remember that growing up, and I would be like, how are they bored? They have so many things, you know. And I don't know, sometimes simplicity is better. And I do want to say to your question about siblings fighting over toys, that's not a bad thing, because when there is a sort of misunderstanding or 2 kids fighting over it, it's such a great opportunity for you to teach them
Conflict resolution,
exactly. And like just communicating, okay, you know, I can see that both of you really, we had this today.
Oh my
literally
God, the funniest.
Today
The funniest.
was looking over, first of all, we're in Idaho. We have one box of toys that has a few baby dolls and a bunch of Legos and maybe like 3 trucks or something in it. And our kids have been fully entertained the entire time that they've been here. And there are so many children here. And they all play, and they all go into their own worlds, and they play together. But today I was looking over, and I saw Forrest and Esme, and I was like, oh my God, Teresa, look. And I was playing so well together. And they were just like, and like playing with their little animals or whatever it was. And then they were playing with this basket that came out of a cooler, right? It's like this wire basket from a cooler, just like some random thing. And they were pretending to like put their little
trap there.
Yeah, in a trap. And they both had their hand on it at the same time. And then they got really frustrated because they both wanted to, and a tug of war happened. Esme's arm got caught. Forrest was upset. You know, and we just
scream, crying, both
like,
of them. We're like,
full, and I was like, wow.
So funny, because Sarah's like, let's look at how well they're playing together. And then all of a sudden it's like, like go psycho.
It went from 0 to
And I had
60.
Eric had just been saying, "Oh, Forrest is just so great. How he's so quiet and just plays himself, no fuss." I was like, "I know, he's such a dreamboat. I'm so lucky. He's my easiest child." And then cut to he like full meltdown.
He had his first meltdown.
Yeah, I
ever.
said that to. I was like,
Yeah.
that was the biggest meltdown I've ever seen. Also, they stayed up until what? 11 p.m. last night.
Oh yeah, we
watching
were
Toy Story 4
very
at the drive-in.
zen last night, and
We've been mega zen mamas, really like sticking to bedtimes and stuff. On
Oh
this
my
trip.
god, no, we haven't. But it's funny. We've been very good with the
Flexibility.
flow. So anyway, in this situation, Teresa went over and she like took the basket and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take this little basket. I'm gonna put this over here." And I see that both of you really want it, but we need to calm our bodies down. And so she started talking with Forrest. I started talking with Esme. And I'm like, even when we get frustrated, like, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to want the same toy, but you guys have to communicate and figure it out. And you think, like, okay, they're 2 years old. Like, how are they going to understand that? But they do. I mean,
Yeah.
they fully get it. And they're like,
And they got it. And it took a minute.
yeah.
And then, of course, Forrest calmed down and he saw something that Wyatt had and he really wanted to play with that, the helicopter. I was like, oh, God. But, yeah, and it was good. They ended up communicating. And then, sure enough, like, the next 5 minutes, Esme's like, "Help, I'm stuck in a whirlpool." And Forrest is like, "I'll save you, Esme."
Yeah, and they're
Pulls her
back
out of
to,
the
like,
whirlpool, and they're back to best
playing
friends.
again. Yes. And same, I mean, those are not siblings, but they're two kids who've been living together all week. And, you know, between siblings, it's the same thing. You know, it's just like conflict resolution and communication.
them.
It's really important. At the preschool that we went to, they always say, like, you know, every conflict is an opportunity to teach. And it's really true. I used to be afraid of conflict. I'd be like, this is happening. And, like, what do I do?
I
And
just step in.
yeah, but it's like, it's such a good opportunity for them to learn. And, you know, toys definitely give you that opportunity because sometimes 5 kids want the same toy and you got to figure out how to, like, you know, make that work. So anyway, we pretty much used up our entire time to talk about toys.
On that one question.
But it's actually a really great question.
It's
because
great. We haven't had it before.
we've never had that before. And I think that that is something that comes up a lot. And people are very curious about, you know, plastic versus wood. And I mean, I think a little mix of both is fine. Like, I don't...
It's totally fine. And I
don't see-
was that mother that was like, everything's going to be fully recycled wood and I'll never have plastic toys in my house. Cut to her favorite thing, Fisher-Price swing, a big plastic swing that's
Yeah.
like, worst music ever, but she loves it. And I, even with Bodhi, I was like, everything's just pure and like from the earth. And then, of course, I got one of those terrible jumpers that you put the baby in. They're like,
that
ding,
goes
ding,
in the
there's
doorway.
so many things.
Oh,
yeah.
oh no.
Yeah, with all the things that they play with and the music that they
Yes.
hit. And,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you get the plastic and it's what's most exciting. I went to a play date one day and, like, the parents were very strict about only having wooden toys. And I hadn't ever met these women before, and I had turned up to this beach day and we had sort of communicated over Instagram, and I had picked up like a bag of plastic beach toys to bring, to be like, hey, all of our kids can play with it. I remember them looking at me like, what? What? They're like, oh my God, our children have never even seen plastic. And of course their kids like ran for the plastic and played all day long with these plastic toys in the ocean. And I was
Bright
like,
colors.
sorry for introducing you the plastic, but you know, you do what works, and
It's a balance. I do
is.
think it's a balance.
and that's my boy.
That's the
Forrest.
cue.
It's the cue to go. All right, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.